Hello, everyone. Welcome to NSCC's presentation on marine engineering technology. We're very happy to have you here today for this info session. Let's get started. Jalasi, welcome. NSCC is located in the Mi'kmaq, the unceded territory and traditional homeland of the Mi'kmaq Nation. Our relationship is based on a series of peace and friendship treaties between the Mi'kmaq Nation and the Crown dating back to 1725. As treaty beneficiaries, we recognize that we are all treaty people. And NSCC recognizes the African Nova Scotians as a distinct group who contributed to the infrastructure and economic wealth of the towns and cities that were helped to build, but from which they could not benefit. Let us learn more about how our respective communities were shaped by the historical contributions of African Nova Scotians to Mi'kmaq. So welcome to the info session. Thank you very much for joining us. There's a question box, so if you have any questions during the presentation, you can post them here and we will have Raj, our faculty member, answer them at the end. So with us today is Raj, who's one of our lead faculty for the Marine Engineering Technology program, and myself, Jessica Lang, who is the Student Recruitment Coordinator. Now I'll turn it over to Raj.
Oh, thank you, Jessica. I welcome all for these presentations regarding marine engineering and technology. And before I start, let me introduce myself. I'm the lead faculty over here, and I've been on the industry for more than 25 years and sailing as well as the shore experience. So I've done all type of ships, sailing and everything. So now I just joined in NSCC just last 2 years. I'm working on over here. So before I'll just go, then let me start with this marine engineering technology. It's a diploma program, and it's 2.5 years of time duration. So what we are going to learn about, basically the people on board, they'll be doing an operation engineer. They have to run the machinery. They have to see all the maintenance and safeties. And this 2.5 years, they do include 180 days they have to be on board. And once they're done, the salary starts from the 70K. And we'll be talking more in details. So normally the course starts somewhere around the fall. So it's a full-time course. People have to be in person, and its location is Street Area Campus. It's located in Port Hawkesbury, and it's a diploma program it is. And for this, it's just a high school is required, and no typical math or science background is required. No prerequisite for this course. So it's all taken care once the student comes in, because there's always a doubt when the people come in. If they're high school, they do have a prerequisite for the math or a science. So there's no prerequisite for here. So once they come to that, we will take care of everything. And for the international students, high school diploma equivalency and the English requirements vary by country. And these are all the basic requirements for the people to enroll. Apart from this, there is a program requirement is anybody joining here, they should have a valid Transport Canada Marine Medical Certificate. And basically it is a fitness services, I mean, which may be, included like they will check the physical fitness, visual acuity, peripheral and color visions, and depth in perceptions and hearing sensitivity. Because one of the reason medical fitness is very important for this course is the people have to be on board. So they have to be fully fit, because they have to take care of themselves when they are on board. So immediately shore assistance, all those things are concerns. So that's why it's Transport Canada requirement is medical fitness plays a vital role. And then apart from that, they should also have a criminal record check. And the reason behind this is the criminal record check is this will affect if they are going to complete and they're going for a joining a ship. Somebody is having some issues on that. They'll be also going on international water. So that is one of the reason they do have require of this. And then the portfolio development, which normally the students will be developing it when they're doing this course, so that they can achieve it, and we'll be guiding them how to do this portfolio development. So that will be exclusively for their interviews and other purposes. Now let's go to what they will learn. Like, what is marine engineering? What are we talking about marine engineering? It's just it's a combination of different all the engineering aspects. So people will be learning about mechanical operations of the machineries, and they'll be also learning about electrical, they'll be learning about electronics, automations, and pneumatics, hydraulics. And apart from this, they do also learn about the naval architecture, how the ship constructions will be done, how the ship will be designed. So what kind of a design will be done for a ship. So they will be also learning on this aspect. And all the other apart from like practical skills, like any kind of a repair jobs, they'll be learning, especially on the welding, lathe fittings. So all kind of physical, mechanical, practical things, they'll be working on that. So the reason behind this is why they learn everything is once you are on board, you have to fix all the things, like any kind of an operation issues, the people have to be there. So they know everything about all the engineering aspects. Even apart from that, they do also learn about the air conditioning, refrigerations. So there will be almost like all kind of an engineering aspects they'll be learning this marine engineering. And once they finish this, they will start their career as a fourth engineer. Normally, you have a chief engineer, starts from the top, then the second engineer, then the third engineer, and the fourth engineer. Once you are done with this program, 2.5 years, which includes 180 days of a sea time, which you got to be on board of ship, then you can work as a fourth engineer. So once you have been there, that's where it starts the certifications requirement. Okay. Now we have like for this 2.5 years, this is basically you have a semester 1, semester 2, semester 3 for the first year, and then second year you have same way, and then we end up on the third year. Like how it starts is semester 1 normally starts on the fall, that's somewhere in September to December. Then semester 2 will be proceeding towards the winter semester, normally we call it. It starts from the consecutive the next year, Jan to April, and then the third semester is basically from the April till the June and July. So what we are going to learn on this is like they'll be learning about applied mathematics, technical drawing. Technical drawing is typically a missionary drawing, so they will be learning about how they do the drawing for the missionary things, and the general knowledge of the marine engineering, and the general knowledge for the motor. So these and electro technology. So these are the basic. We'll be starting everything from the basic. So people no need to worry about like it will be so hard or everything. It will be made very simple and easy. And even if somebody is having any kind of assistance, we always do a tutoring and everything, all kind of a supports. Normally we do it. So the first year is always a crucial, because the students sometimes get overwhelmed with all kind of steps, but then it is easily handled. If the students comes to the college, rest all you will take care. So if they are willing to come and attend the class, all the scores can be easily completed. So then once it comes to second semester, so again they'll be doing the same typical subjects, nothing much of a difference. The third semester falls from the April to May and June. They'll be doing all the safety courses, because in this second semester before they complete, you will be also having a career fair in the month of March. Somewhere around March first week, normally we have a career fair where there'll be interviews and the placements will be done. So once the students are placed, so they'll be going somewhere, they need to go on board of a ship somewhere in the month of May, June, they'll start. So before going on board of ship, they need to do all the safety courses, like all these emergency duties, like safety for first aid, and proficiency, like if they're going to be in a survival craft, what they're supposed to do. So all the basic, that's what they'll be doing it on the semester 3. Once they are done, they're placed, they'll be going at the end, they'll be going to the ship. So they can be doing 2 months or 45 days, depending upon the time duration of the company which give. Then again, all the students will be coming back on the next year, that is the second year, semester 1, that comes on the fall. So again, they'll be in the second year, they'll be talking more on the thermodynamics, mechanics, and a little bit of the math. Then morely, again, it is electro technology and motor and the general and all those kind of stuff which is related to the marine engineering will be concentrated more on this. So in the first year, you'll be also having the skills where they'll be learning all the building, all this machining part also will be included in the first year, which will be also continued on the second year as well. That will be separate. That will be also included in this. So once they're done the second year, then again they can go for the ship. So once they're doing this, the second year, if you see the semester 3, you will be also have to do a propulsion simulator plant. That course is being done after the winter semester, that is on the somewhere around April and May. You will have to do this. Simulator is nothing but we train the people, or we create a situation of all the missionaries, and the students will solve all the problems, so that when they go on board of a ship, they are able to fix all the issues, operational issues, maintenance issues, what action they should be able to take. Everything we'll be telling them, and it will be also done by the TC. So TC inspector will be there in front of this, only they'll be doing it. So it makes a very good exposure for the students to learn everything, whatever mistakes or whatever they want to learn by mistakes and correcting, everything is being done in this simulator level 1. So it's been taken care in this. After that is the last one, is always once they come back, the third year is going to be only the fall semester. Once they done the fall semester, they should be done with this, and then they finish their 180 days. Then they should be ready to give the exams for your fourth engineer for the TC. So this is what it is. And normally the class hours is always from 8:30 to 4:30. So that's our class hours, and they have to be there. And important thing is attendance is one of the important thing which we always emphasize, because it's of the TC requirement. So attendance is one of the vital part of this course, because we need at least 90% of the attendance is a requirement by the TC. So let's go to the experimental learning. Like we already discussed everything more on, and one important thing in this I want to specify is more in detail about that propulsion plant and the simulator, which is we recently also upgraded furthermore. So with the more amount of graphics, we can show exactly the engine running in. You can see all the parameters, so they can work on that. And plus, apart from that, we do also teach them how to open up a machinery, boxing up the machinery. So these all the skills will be, we'll be teaching them more in advance, so that when they go on board of a ship, they can able to handle everything comfortably, because it's very, very important. When they go on board, they have to work. So that's the intention of this course of showing all varieties of engineering aspects of that. And students learning in hand, like you can see, this is all. This is the next slide. Yeah. So if you see here, this is where in the bottom slide is where the simulator, and then you can see in the corner is the firefighting. Then you can see this is a pool, which normally they do this safety, all this survival craft courses based on this, and this is basically a workshop on the top. So hands-on with the industry settings, we do explain them more in detail. So we do spend almost 180 hours on the first year, and then again 120 hours in the second year only on the workshop. So we'll be telling them in detail about everything. And once this is again, you can see the cylinder heads they are opening, and they are using the drilling machines for. So they have to do each and every task will be given. They have to fulfill each and every task. So that also will be graded for them. Okay. So once they finish this, the students will be going to what type of vessel? They can go to any type of a vessel or any commercial vessels which is operated. It can be any cargo vessels, it can be a tanker, it can be passenger ships, it can be ferries, or it can be research ships, or it can be offshore supply vessel. Offshore supply vessel means normally oil rigs will be out at sea. So those supply vessels which goes and helps them to all kind of a transportation or any kind of a things. So those who are the supply vessels, so they will be placed in any of the vessels. They can go and work there, and they can go internationally also. They can go on international waters. So this certificate is valid internationally. So they can go, and if they, for example, few of our companies, they do have international trading, like from Canada to it goes to UK, and then they're back. So transatlantic voyages. So all those type of ships they can work. And this program is typically based by the IMO, International Maritime Organization. Through that, Transport Canada implements whatever the IMOs has been structured this course. The Transport Canada implements it to its perfection. So everything is done based on the IMO model, and which Transport Canada tells us which all the aspects has to be included. And we do frequently have audits regarding on this. So the course is always typically we maintain this higher standard to maintain, so that the people go on board, they show a proficiency and a professionalism on this, particularly as a marine engineer. So the career path is, you can see here, it's a marine engineering diploma program. Once you finish this, then you can go to this Transport Canada to have a class 4 engineering certificate. So there will be 2 exams will be taken by them. There will be written exam and then followed by a oral exam. So this exam is always conducted by the Transport Canada. So the college normally, once you have finished up with the 2.5 years, we do have a record books. Once you bring back the record books, once it's all signed, we give the completion certificate. Once the completion certificate has been given to the students, then the students enroll themselves or register to the Transport Canada. Then they fix the exams for the 4th class engineering. That's the class 4 exams. Once you have a class 4 exams done, once you clear that, then they will issue a certificate of competency. It's called the class 4. Once you have this class 4 certificate of competency, then you can sail on board of ship as a 4th engineer. So the pay starts even from 70 to 100, because depending upon the type of the ship's vessel, the pay will be increased. So sometimes in oil tanker, the pay will be more, the bulk carrier will be slightly less, depending upon the type. So the pay will be fixed. So from there, the career path starts on. And apart from this, there is an upgrade also for this course. So if you want to do an upgrade for this, there is an next course is there for this is marine engineering management technology. So that is almost 1.5 years advanced program, where again you'll be learning this more. What is the advantage of doing that course is, if you can see here from the 4th engineer, after some time you have to be as a 2nd engineer. To do this, normally you have a sea time requirement of 2 years. So once you're done 2 years of a sailing period, then you are eligible to write a 2nd engineer exams with the Transport Canada. Once you write those exams, then they will issue a certificate of competency. So while writing that exam, if you have done this 1.5 years program, then many of the subjects or many of those courses are credited based on this. So they have to write only few papers, like especially general and the motor, they have to write. Rest all they don't have to write it. This is all, I mean, they have been exempted. So it is based on this credit of when you do this management program. So apart from this, after you do the 2nd engineer, again you have to do a little bit of a sailing experience. Then again you can give an exam for the chief engineer exams. That will be like a class 1 motor. Once you are done with that, then you are almost reached the top of the ladder. So then you'll be getting the pay somewhere around 200 to 300K, because this pay, whatever I'm talking about, is based on only on 2019. So it's slightly now is all increased. So that's a career path on this. So it's not only ends over here. What all the flexibility on this marine engineering is, you can work wherever you are, in which part of the place in Canada. Doesn't matter. You can stay where you are. The companies will take care of from the transportation from the home to the ship, then back to the home. It will be taken care of that. That's one of the important thing. That's the biggest flexibility. You don't have to change your locations where the job is there, because they will take care of all the transportation that includes the flight or whatever it is there. It's the company will take care of that. Apart from that, all the insurance will be taken care from the moment you leave from the ship, I mean from the home, coming back to the ship and then coming back to home, everything is taken care. Another flexibility is in this field is, say for example, you need to take a break for a year. You can take that break, then you can join back in the same rank and same position, and there's no issues or any concerns. Not like in a shore job where you miss a position, again you have to look for a job, again you have to go for an interview, again you have to search many of these jobs. Those kind of things are not here. You can easily pick this job with the same position, same rank whenever you want. Even in one time, one of the, I think in my career path where I have to, with my family commitments, where I have to take a break for almost 1.5 years, I took that break and then I joined back as a chief engineer straight away. So I don't have to worry about that. Okay, my job is, I have to apply for a new thing. No, I can just tell the company that I'm having some commitments. Once I'm done, I'll be joining back. So that kind of flexibility is there in this job. Apart from this, we also learn all the engineering aspects, so it helps you out to find out to have some kind of a job in the shore as well, because you will be going on board of a ship. Maybe normally shipping contracts is like 1 month on and 1 month off, sometimes 1 week on and 1 week off, 2 weeks on and 2 weeks off. They're more flexible, sometimes 2 months on, 2 months off. So depending upon, like, if you see you're working on an offshore vessels, you will find maybe 28 days on and 28 days off. So the idea is you are working only for 6 months, but you are paid for a full year. That's one of the advantage when you look on to the other professionals. And you have a full vacation period. Like if it is 28 days off, means you are off, so you can plan your vacation, or you want to plan something, or plan something, a small business or anything, you can do a setting up, because you have a typical all the engineering knowledge within you. So you can have those kind of aspects, setting up a small business, and then you can go back to the ship and then come back. So you can always have a follow up on that. And most of the times the vessels are always the coastal of Canadian waters, so it's very handy for there, so it can easily handle those kind of stuffs. So that way it is very flexible on that. So these are all the plus aspects. Only thing is, whenever you do sailing, you might have to leave the family for a week or 2 weeks. So that is only concerns about this. Apart from that, I don't see in my career path for last 25 years, I didn't see anything as an a slightly, a minus point of view. That's all I see as a positive. And apart from this, once you become as a chief engineer, the job openings are quite a lot. Like you can be as a faculty in any one of this maritime institute, or you can go as a work as a technical superintendent on the shore. Shore means the technical superintendent, basically they look after 3 or 4 ships in the office. So you'll be working for a manager kind of a position. So you'll be more than from the master. Like you will be giving instructions to the captain and the chief engineers for the ship. So you will be handling maybe 2 ships or 3 ships. So that is also an automatically you can go as that kind of a shore job. Apart from that, you can be as a surveyor, class surveyor. You can go for a Transport Canada job. You can go on the Coast Guard college. Coast Guard ships anywhere. So the opportunities are quite a lot. It's only not only with the chief engineer. It keeps on going. You can diversify your opportunities. So you can do how much ever. Like I have taken, like, since another advantage is, say for example, you are doing this career path, you would like to study something which you really wanted to do it in your lifetime, but due to their other some circumstances you may not be able to do. That also you can do, because I did it. Like when I was doing my sailing period, I did my MBA. So slowly over the period I was able to do my MBA, and then afterwards I did my PhD also. So everything I did during my sailing periods only. I didn't have to spend a separate time to work on like that. So that gives you an big thing. Like if you want to study something, you can always pick up this field. You can work, and then in your part time you can enroll yourself on whichever subjects or whichever course which you like to do it as a passion. You can do that. So those are all the flexibilities and advantages of marine engineering. Only thing is, as long as you are fit to work, you can work. There are no restrictions. As long as you're fit to work, you can keep on working there on board. There are no restrictions as such. So these are all the main restrictions. These are the plus and the minus or of this career. Okay. After furthermore, like if you go to the next level, I already mentioned you about this upgrade of this, is that the marine engineering management. So after you do this, you can do so that you get exemptions when you do for your chief engineer and second engineer. And the 2 years of this, so there are certain colleges or universities, they do give a credit for 2 years of a diploma programs for this. Like say for example, you want to study another engineering program or something like that in Dalhousie or maybe University of New Brunswick or somewhere else. They do consider this credit for this 2 years program. So the 2 years, whatever you have studied over here, you have to do only another 2 years for that. It's like they recognize up to 2 years of exemption has been given for the 4 year of your any university degree. So this is a main advantage of this. So you can still do this any kind of a degree program. Once you've done a degree, you can do this. That's what I was mentioning about Dalhousie and all will give you a opportunity. So 2 years credit has been given based on this diploma program you have done. And so normally the tuition fee is per year is 3,620, and apart from that is an additional college fees is there, and international students fees 11,690 per year, and a 2,340 is a college fee. Apart from this, you also have a few more of additional expenses. So it's like 2,400. That includes all the textbooks and basic overalls and safety shoes, and for the marine medical certificates, those kind of all other things which has been required, like some kind of a tools you require to use, certain tools you require to use on the workshop. So all those things that include. So this is all basically an additional program cost which the students needs to have it from their side.
All right, thanks,
So,
Raj. That's a lot
yeah,
of great information.
yeah. Thank you, Shika.
So next up is our scholarships, bursaries, and awards. So we do offer more than $4 million in scholarships, bursaries, and awards at NSCC each year. So available to current students, incoming graduates based on a range of criteria such as their financial need, career interests, leadership, volunteer experience, and academic standing. I was actually a recipient of 2 awards at my university, and it really helps you just to focus on your studies because that's already paid most or part of your tuition. And then you can find out more at nscc.ca/student awards. We also have high school entrance awards. So get your first year of tuition paid for. There's 14 awards, 1 per campus. It's awarded based on extracurricular and community involvement along with academic achievement. You need an academic average of 75% and a passing grade in all of your courses, and you must have already been accepted to NSCC. The application's open in March, and you can find out more at nscc.ca/entrance. We also have the Abduct program, which is the department I work for. So through the Ocean Protection Plan, funding is available for women and Indigenous peoples pursuing marine training to help us diversify both the classroom and the workplace. So we do have an agreement with Transport Canada that goes until 2027, and we're hoping it does get renewed. It includes the Ocean Dream Award, which is 90% of tuition covered for all Indigenous students and women who are Canadian residents or permanent residents. And then we also have the Ocean Living Award for $66 a day, which covers living expenses for both women and Indigenous students as well. And then in these pictures, you can see at the top, these are all of the women that competed in the Marine Skills Competition. And in the bottom is the traditional knowledge class, where students are learning how to make a medicine pouch. So becoming a student, there's 3 easy steps. First, you apply online. There's a $40 application fee. Next is you accept your program seat and pay a $200 deposit. And then in September, your classes would begin for this program. So you can apply online now, and offers of admission to qualified applicants are made in application completion date order. Find out more at nscc.ca/apply once you're ready to apply. You can also stay connected with us on social media. So on Facebook, you can find us at NSCC Nautical Institute, and on Instagram at NSCC Nautical. So you can find us both those places and keep up to date on where we are in the community and what's going on with our programs. And if you have any further questions, you can send them to me, Jessica Lang, and you can also text or call me at 782-370-0403, and I'll be in touch during my business hours. Or you can email me at any time at jessica.lang@nscc.ca. That's Jessica, JESSICA.lang, LAING, at nscc.ca. And if there's any questions for Raj, I can pass them along. All right, that's it for our webinar. Thank you so much for joining us for this info session. We were very happy that you were able to take part and find out more about the Marine Engineering Technology Program. And thanks to Raj for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect, take care.